The Numinous Podcast with Carmen Spaniola.
Hi there, and welcome to the Numinous Podcast, where we have interesting conversations with everyday folks about the mystery of life. And every once in a while, I send you a brief missive, a little dispatch from here on the farm on Insilkshin-speaking territory, not too far away from a small town known as Summerland, BC. I'm your host, Carmen Spaniola.
Oh, hey, good boys. Look at you good boys lining up for your mash. Here you go, Reverie. Back up, Skaha. Good boy. Yeah, here you go, Bo. Good boy. I know you hate being last. What are you willing to do under capitalism that still preserves your joy and your dignity? That is the question. Oh, hey, Skaha. That is the question that we were discussing in the small business chat in the Numinous Network today. And Skaha is very curious about my fuzzy microphone. Let's get right in there. So we were talking in the small business chat. So the small business chat happens every month in the Numinous Network, and it's for any kind of entrepreneur. So, and it's for people who are like just trying to get something off the ground. It's for people who maybe have a product that, you know, maybe you crochet cat toys that you sell at the farmer's market. That we actually have a few people who are disabled who are getting businesses of like physical products off the ground, and that works with their dynamic or episodic disabilities. But there's also lots of like therapists and midwives, doulas, ritualists, teachers, consultants, all of it, right? And with the economy the way that it is, people are struggling. And I've been seeing this for like 2 years. I keep telling people, and they're like, maybe I should I, does anybody know like a marketing coach I should get? Does anybody, I'm always like, may I also just suggest it's the economy and that maybe we should preserve our resources, and what we need is some like solidarity and, witnessing and cooperation, but like don't spend your money on stuff right now. Anyway. So we come together to support and witness each other. Everything's really well held, and it's not just like a circle and kind of free-for-all, and people can't just like talk endlessly and sort of trauma dump on us when we're like trying to maybe share some good news about good things that are happening in our business. So it's all it's done in like a numinous way, right? Very, very attachment-based, very somatically oriented, trauma-informed, and very collapse-aware. If you're in the Numinous Network, you're a collapse-aware person, right? And you're trying to survive under capitalism while also dismantling capitalism. It's a tricky thing. So we come together as edgewalkers, and it's always so beautiful because when we're talking about our business, we're talking about our survival. We're talking about livelihood. So obviously there can be a lot of emotion underpinning that. And like, boy, did we ever... We drop in like really quickly into our heart space, and it's just beautiful. Anyway, sorry, what I want to talk about is this idea I was talking about in the small business chat around a question that I always kind of keep in my back pocket as more of a like collapse aware psychology kind of thing. A little tool I use for myself is I ask myself, what am I willing to do under capitalism that still preserves my dignity and my joy? Because if my businesses don't work out, if my entrepreneurship doesn't work out and I need to get a job, what could I do? Because of my personality, I can be like a little bit unemployable because I always want to do things, Okay, that's a tangent I'm going to get on some other day. But today I want to focus on this idea of like keeping in your back pocket. What are you willing to do under capitalism that still preserves your joy and your dignity? So before I experienced my bankruptcy in 2009, like the Great Recession happened, I had a bricks and mortar store. I was in Canadian House and Home. I was on HGTV. And like within a year, I had to declare bankruptcy. It was very humiliating. I felt like a massive failure. It was such a huge blow to my ego and my identity. I was just like gripped in shame. And I didn't offer a service. I didn't have a thing that I could do. So I was looking for jobs and I just kept getting rejected. And that was like a vicious cycle. It was getting worse and worse. Every time I applied for a job, it was harder. Every time I got rejected, it was harder. And I wasn't applying for like fancy, well, anyway. And looking back now, I have some advice for my younger self. So I used to always say to myself, if this business doesn't work out, I can always work at Starbucks. As though that was like an easy job to get. It might have been when I was on my A game, but when I was depressed and fragile and just like racked with shame, man, I couldn't get a job at Starbucks. But God bless the Starbucks shift manager queen who just gently told me the truth of what was happening. So I'm like passing her my resume and we're sort of chatting. And I don't remember what happened or what I said, but like tears started to well up in my eyes. And she's holding my resume and like gently passing it back to me and saying, oh, I just don't know if customer service is the right fit for you at this time. And like, yeah, wow, read me like a book, like nailed it. Yeah, I really could not do customer service. I want to shout out to my friend Robbie, who at the time I didn't know very well, but he was like the boyfriend of my high school friend Medina. He has a great, amazing restaurant in Vancouver called Cafe Medina. And he knew me a little bit because I'd been a rep for him in the wine industry. And I went and I was like, I need a job and I need one where I don't have to be visible. I would love to be a dishwasher or a busser. And he's like, well, actually, dishwashing is like way too skilled. You need to be a really good dishwasher. And I'd had years and years of restaurant experience, but dishwashing, like shout out to all the dishwashers out there. It actually is like just such an important job in a restaurant. You can't just have some like feeble little depressed girl come in and do it. Anyway, he made me a busser and saved me, basically. Shout out to Robbie. I'll never forget, man. That was great. Okay, anyway, back to my story. So I used to think, well, I can always work at Starbucks. And then it turned out that that was not available to me. But I still think it in the back of my mind if my work doesn't work out, my work in the world with the Numinous Network or my therapeutic services or, I work online. If the internet goes down, what am I going to do? But, I still have in the back of my mind, I would be an amazing grocery store cashier. That was one of my first non-restaurant jobs when I was in high school. And I remember when debit machines came in, people, and the head cashier at this really large new grocery store that had opened up. Once again, I didn't get that job just walking in. It was the dad of my boyfriend in high school who knew the head cashier at this new big grocery store, Thrifty's. He got me the job. And the head cashier, I can't say that she totally liked me after a little while, but anyway, I got good. I was fast. I was good at multitasking. They taught me how to pack groceries and count money back and all that kind of stuff because you had to be good. You had to like represent Thrifty's. You had to represent this, new, brand new opening of this large grocery store. So I got good at it. Whenever I go get groceries today, I still think I would be an amazing, is this just me or the town I'm in? I noticed this in Victoria too before we moved. People don't pack groceries for you anymore. I don't know when this vibe shift happened. I don't know. It's like very European. They don't pack groceries. And when they do offer to help, which is amazing, they're really bad. They're really, really bad at it. They don't understand the philosophy of all the cold stuff together. Don't put the big milk in a bag. Oh my God, do not put a quart of milk on its side. What are you doing? Anyway, they don't put all the heavy stuff. Okay. I know I would be a good grocery store clerk. However, if I needed to go in and get a job, I can't go in there reeking of terror and desperation. It would be better. My energy would be better served. My interest would be better served if I waited for a moment when the clouds parted, just a moment when I was feeling a little bit myself again. When you're really in freeze, stuck, overwhelmed, when you're depressed and feeling terrible about yourself, you might be there a long, long time. But rather than go out and risk more rejection at that moment, be strategic. I'd say, Carmen, you wait until you have just a moment of feeling a little more up, a little more yourself, a little more hopeful, just a moment of it. And then you put your hair in a ponytail, you put on some lipstick, and you go in and you tell them, I am going to be such a great head cashier. You are going to be wondering what is going on with me. If you don't hire me, it'll be like you're leaving money on the table. It'll be like burning money, because I'm going to come in here and be wildly good at packing groceries, and you won't understand why. And you'll never understand why. It's like a strange biological rightness in my body about how groceries should be packed, and it's decades old now, but I'm going to be head cashier in 6 months or less, and you're not going to understand why I'm so enthusiastic about it, but I am, because I like things done well, and that puts me in my dignity and my joy. I could do this job because I'm in my dignity and my joy. So that's my common sense for collapse times little missive for today. And, you should come join us in the Numinous Network for Small Business Chat. If I get more time on my hands, I'm probably going to do 2 a month, because in this economy, the entrepreneurs, we really need help. We need solidarity, and we need to know what each other's doing. It's not always sad. Sometimes it's very cool and exciting, and you should come join us. Anyway, till next time, take care.